Good morning, brothers and sisters. It's January 19th, 2019. So I want to share a few dreams that I've had this past week. I saw these beautiful northern lights out my back door. It was dark out, and I live up in the Pacific Northwest. It is very, very rare. We never see these northern lights. I've never seen them in my life for real, only in videos and pictures and such, because we never get them. But we had beautiful pink and green. I remember those two colors vividly, of these beautiful northern lights in the sky. And this is an article I found, and it's got some of these northern lights. We had a rare showing of these northern lights just last year, not long ago. I believe it was September and October. Just this past year, 2018. Like I said, this is very rare. It never happens, but I saw these beautiful northern lights, pink and green. And then after that, I saw a sky, and it was dark out, and it was not a cityscape like this. It was actually in the mountains and such. I live close to the foothills, the Cascade foothills, but there were tons of these falling stars coming down in every single direction. As you can see here, they leave big streaks in the sky, and they were coming from all over and going in all different directions. So there were quite a few more than this. And I just want you to note this article I found earlier on a fake meteor shower that Japan has just created. They call it Sky Canvas, and they actually shot this satellite up into the atmosphere on the 18th, yesterday, to create Earth's first artificial meteor shower. I guess it was a success. It went up there, and I believe they're going to send up another one. But they're supposed to have this big event of artificial meteor showers sometime, maybe next year. But this is exactly what I saw. And although I do believe we're going home before, next spring, that would be 2020, I just wanted you to note this had been launched up into the sky, up into the atmosphere. I mean, gosh, that thing could be hit by a meteor or whatever, and all of them could explode all over. And I'm just saying could be another possibility of how we could see so many meteors in like Revelation 6, when the stars are falling, as well as fallen angels, as well as asteroids, meteors, whatever it could be. But I just thought that was interesting. I had a dream about that, and they looked just like this, all these streaks in the sky. And then there was like a day or two later, I had a dream. I was looking out my back door and opened the glass door, and through the mountains, I could see huge pyroclastic plumes of smoke coming out in the sky and getting higher and higher in the sky. And it was really dark out, but I saw them because there was this really crazy lightning going off right in the middle of the pyroclastic flows. And it was really violent, and I thought it was just incredible. And I closed the door just nonchalantly. It didn't bother me at all. And then that was the end. So I thought that was interesting. I wanted to show you also a few things that are trending on social media right now. In the days that we're living in, we know we are in the very, very last days. They call evil good and good evil. Look at this. Google employees are furious and outraged at the term family. They say it's diminishing and disrespectful way to speak. I mean, it's just incredible. Unless you have children, it's offensive, it's homophobic, it's inappropriate. These people are off their freaking rockers. This is the wicked calling wicked good, or evil good, and good evil, as we see everywhere now in these very last days. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And get a load of this. The LGBTQ Tea folks, people are trying to add the big P to that, the big fat P. And it is an outrage. And this we saw, friends, in Sodom and Gomorrah. And we know the Bible tells us in the very last days, it will be like in the days of Lot, Sodom and Gomorrah. I mean, look at all of this stuff. Rainbow Welcome Initiative. They want to put the P in it too. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I saw a little boy, this drag queen boy. He's 11. He's a child. And he was on a video actually saying, we want to put the P in LGBTQP, whatever. This child, this is such an abomination. And this is happening everywhere. And they want to normalize all this. And they are just cracking away and pounding away a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. It's like the frog that gets boiled in the water. A little bit more. Before you know it, he's boiled and cooked and done. And friends, we are there. We are there. Look what's trending over here in Twitter. Expose Christian schools? Really? This is because Mike Pence and his wife were speaking about this in the Christian schools. And she works, I believe, for Christian schools. And the haters, the LGBTQ people and all of the wicked are just slandering and slamming her left and right. And so now this is like Twitter trending. Expose Christian schools. Yeah, there are a lot of good people talking about this, but just for this to be trending on social media is really crazy. If you go through here, look at all the hateful, negative, wicked, evil, demonic people and the things they are saying. And you know, most people on here are pretty young. And oh, I just pray for them because, man, they are so lost. They are so lost. They are going to be following the man of sin. And they're going to do it happily. So I also wanted to mention today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time or 12 noon, Donald Trump, President Trump, is going to be making a major announcement concerning the border and the shutdown. Now, I believe he is going to offer money to help DACA children and a few things like that. Well, apparently I just read that the demo rats have just decided to add $1 billion to the funding to think that, they're doing something good for this, but get this, not one penny will they allow it to go to a wall. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So I think that's what President Trump is going to announce, extra incentives for the children who have come over and such like that. But, this is so ridiculous. The Dems are crazy. I don't know how much longer this is going to go, but I'm praying for Donald Trump and Pence and everybody else that they can hang in there and stand strong. And, perhaps he has to do a martial law and stop this and call a national emergency for getting the funding to our military so we can do this. And I'm all for that. I think that would be a good idea. If that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I mean, look at other countries. China has a wall. All these other countries have walls. Look at Israel's wall. And you tell me walls don't work? Look around Pelosi's house. She's got walls. Come on. All these elitist left-wing nutbags think that, oh, you can't have a wall. Oh, but I can. So what's good for you is not good for me. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I just wanted to remind you that tomorrow night is the blood moon super lunar eclipse. And in my neck of the woods, it will max out at 9:12 p.m. tomorrow night, Sunday night. But over in New York, it maxes out at 12:12 a.m. Interesting, isn't that? Well, it's something that we are watching carefully. And this is a sign, I believe, friends. I believe it's a sign for the United States. As you can see, the whole lunar eclipse, blood moon, is over the United States. I also believe it's a warning to Israel that war is coming for her as well. So over here in Revelation 6, then I watched as he broke the sixth seal, and there was a great earthquake. The sun turned black as sackcloth worn in mourning. Now, the sun turning black is absolutely caused by this great, huge earthquake. Okay, this is not an eclipse of the sun. And the full moon became blood red. Then the stars fell from heaven to earth, just as a fig tree drops its figs when shaken by a strong wind. Okay, so if we are looking at this opening of the seals, which I believe I've talked about before, Shavat 24, you can see Zechariah's prophecy, the 24th day of the 11th month, that's January 30th. Next Wednesday, you can see red, white, and black horses. And then you can also see the dappled one as well. Now, is this going to be when the seals start opening? I don't know. But I'm just saying, if these seals are opening, if we see a great quake anytime around this blood moon, total lunar eclipse, could this be the beginning? Could this be, friends? I'm telling you, there is not another total lunar blood moon eclipse until May 26th, 2021. That's over 2 years. 2 years and what? 5 months from now? 2.5 years from now. You think the beginning of the tribulation is going to be 2.5 years from now? I don't see how it could. I really do not see how this is possible. So if we are looking at this, and this coincides with Revelation 12 as well, when it has the sign and the sun and the moon and the stars in heaven, and then the tail swipes away 1/3 of the stars. It's the same thing. They're dealing about the same thing. So I'm just wondering, if this isn't it, if this is not the beginning, we'd have to wait 2.5 more years for another true blood moon total lunar eclipse, okay? So friends, I believe this is very, very important. This is a very important sign to be watching. Will we see a great earthquake? It's interesting. Next Wednesday, the 23rd, is the 207th anniversary of the Great Missouri Quake of 1812. That was a 7.6. There were like 3 earthquakes back then in December and January and February. That final earthquake was February, let's see, when was that? It was February 7th. That was an 8.0 back in 1812. Are we going to see a parallel to that? Are we going to see an earthquake around this blood moon total lunar eclipse? And then stars falling? Friends, keep looking up because our redemption is drawing nigh. Lift up your heads. Lift them up.